good morning or good afternoon, whenever you may view this. This is our project about biodiversity presented to you by the students of AFNIR that go to Lankenau High School. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed the project.
Our insects are dying. Without them, we wouldn't have life or food. Around 80% there's an 80% decrease in the last 20 years.
As students were working on their projects, we gave bi-weekly updates to the class.
Insects are dying. Over the past 20 years, the population of insects have decreased by 80%. And it's not just mosquitoes that don't play a very important role to our ecosystem, but pollinators, which do. Now, at first we thought it was pesticides, but after further investigation, we discovered that though they play a part, they're not the main cause of the dispersion. This main issue is now known as invasive plants. Invasive plants are basically just plants that come from somewhere other than here. And it's not that they're not welcome, it's just that our insects cannot digest them. They just don't have the protein or the microbiome to digest these kind of plants.
So we decided to do our own study related to invasive plants and local plants.
So we were looking for plants that could coexist with the invasive species. We also were hoping that they can withstand food throughout the late summer to the winter, and if possible, be deer resistant.
In the late fall, there's not that much food for a lot of the native insects.
During these studies, we looked around different places like our school, the Schuylkill Center, our homes, and other places like local parks and gardens. We looked at what plans would work. We also spoke with experts to check if our data aligned with the other types of things other people found when they were doing different studies in similar places.
Based on the criteria, these are some of the plants on which we've been focusing on. First, we have plants like serviceberries and hollows, which are very common amongst these parts of the woods. Then we have plants like this one, which I think is very cool because it keeps the deer away. My personal favorite is this one, mostly because it's aesthetically pleasing.
We talked with local community leaders and asked them if it would be okay if we planted on vacant lots and other disused spaces. We are using these spaces to plant our identified species to give more food to pollinators and increase the native biodiversity.
And sometimes we got to have fun and relax, which wasn't just strictly speaking and doing tasks.
Now that we had identified our native plants and our communities, we had to prepare our plants and our seeds.
By utilizing these spaces, we hope to beautify Philadelphia by helping our local and global economies. Our efforts are not going to solve this global crisis, but it will help our communities and create oases in our neighborhoods. To prove successful, we hope other communities may want to duplicate our efforts and make similar progress in Philadelphia and hopefully beyond.